Now, in a couple of weeks ago, you will know that we've been doing videos of the Chinese stimulus, of the Chinese government going to inject massive stimulus into the economy, including buying stocks like Nio, which is something that is massive. I mean, for the Chinese equities like Nio, I think there's about 70 billion which is set aside for now to buy Chinese equities like Nio, which is something that is massive, something that is bullish onto Chinese equities like Nio, because $70 billion, it's a lot of money, right? Now, so many of the people think that those news that we reported about the stimulus are fake news or something that is not going to happen. But let me tell you something, that today Bloomberg just reported something very important. I mean, once Bloomberg starts reporting something, you know it's about to go down, because I mean, usually these companies or news channels, Bloomberg and the others, they are always, or sometimes they are negative. They are mostly negative onto China than being positive. And once you see them being positive on something, I think that you and me should agree that it's something that you should take serious, right? Especially if it's positive. If it's negative, I mean, we're used to them always bashing China and all that. But if it's positive, you need to take that into consideration. So today, Bloomberg wrote something and said Chinese stimulus won't stay all thunder and no rain forever. And they say China's economic policy pivot might be difficult to piece together right now, but it's for real. So this article from Bloomberg, who I just gave a background why this article is important, just said the stimulus is there. The stimulus is for real. It might not be materializing now, but it will. It will materialize, which this, as investors, it tells us one thing. We need to remain long. We need to remain strong, because yes, fundamentally, we know Chinese stocks have got very strong, big fundamentals. But the stimulus that made a lot of people, a lot of investors to come and want to invest onto companies like Nio, and now maybe are gone because they think the stimulus was just all fake and China is not going to act. Well, Bloomberg just today is telling us that these stimulus are for real, and we need to brace ourselves for what's coming, because the rain is coming, and those that are persevering will definitely be rewarded in the long term. Chinese equities, they are set to recover, and the recovery will come unexpected. So many of the people that are still trying to time the market, so many people that are still trying to find perfect days, perfect entries, those entries might not come. Those that are still thinking that Nio will still go back to $4, $3, that's when they will buy, those days might not come. I mean, when I got to read this article from Bloomberg, I think, yeah, man, this is something that is bullish. This is something that is massive, especially coming from Bloomberg. This is something that is just so amazing, and it makes me wonder what's ahead, right? I mean, because the Nio share price in terms of recovery has not been recovering that much, so many of the people are now starting to give up onto Chinese equities like Nio, saying that there is no growth and no all that. But we know that big financial institutions, billionaires, they've been coming and telling us that buy China, buy Chinese stocks, buy Chinese equities like Nio, which it is something that is just so massive that people can ignore. I mean, a guy like Tepper, who's worth like $21 billion, telling you buy Chinese equities, and you ask why, or you are still hesitant to do so. Me, I think it just makes me wonder. Don't you think for him to get where he is because he's smart? I think some way, somehow, it's because he's smart. And whatever he says, and when he tells you or he says something like this, I think he has done some due diligence, right? I mean, he said buy everything China. He was not specific to say buy Nio, buy Alibaba, buy Xpeng. He said buy everything, because the opportunity that he sees in China is just so massive that everyone, as long as you are investing into China, you will be rewarded. This is what this guy, David Tepper, who's worth $21 billion, just said like a couple of weeks ago. Last week, it was another billionaire, Ray Dalio. He said China presents a good opportunity and they are going to continue buying China or investing into China, which is again something coming from a billionaire who's telling you that buy Chinese equities. I mean, it's something that is just so incredible, and I wonder why some of the investors, we are seeing them saying, who are not even billionaires, coming out and saying it's a waste of money, it's a waste of time investing in China. But here are two billionaires recently who just came out and told us buy Chinese equities. They are going to continue investing into China. This just means something, guys, and I think we need to brace ourselves for what's coming. I know it might not come now. We don't know when this whole thing will bring a turnaround into the Chinese equities like Nio, but we know it's coming. Big financial institutions have been saying, adjusting their price targets because they know something big is coming. Billionaires have been saying buy Chinese equities because they know something big is coming. And now news reporters like Bloomberg are reporting the very same thing. There is rain. There is something big coming out of China. And therefore, it's not a waste of money investing into Chinese equities like Nio. Which is why right now I tell you that the low trading price we are seeing onto companies like Nio, it's a good opportunity to load the boat because blue sky is coming. I mean, these guys are not stupid. They know what they're talking about. They've been in the game for quite some time. And they know more, obviously, more than you and me. And therefore, when they talk, we need to also, of course, go do some due diligence and check. But the thing about this stimulus is that it's not just one person saying buy China, but it's billionaires, institutions, news reporters coming and report the same thing, buy China. Which, I mean, come on, man. You know, sometimes in the comments that come through after posting a video, they will be telling you, stop talking about Nio, stop talking about Chinese equities. There's nothing much happening there. They've been tanking, stocks have been taking for years. People have been losing money. But I must say, these articles, these news that we've been seeing coming from China, over and above the fundamentals that these stocks have. I mean, these stocks deserve to rise because of the strong fundamentals which they have right now. Before, even without looking at the stimulus, Chinese equities are so undervalued. This is the truth. Look at the fundamentals, look at where they are trading. Those that are, I mean, look at the PE ratios, look at the PS ratios. You will notice that against their peers in the US, Chinese equities are undervalued. Looking on fundamentals, this is a fact. This is not something we're just hitting around the bush. This is a fact. Now, over and above that, with the big stimulus that is coming, or that China announced a couple of weeks ago, this is the cherry on top, and it makes sense for us to invest into China, to invest into companies like Nio, which is why when some other retail investors are continuing to complain, some investors are going to take the low trading price as opportunities to load the boat, to increase our holdings onto Chinese equities, because we know one thing, blue sky is coming. Otherwise, that's all from me, man. Just thought I'd just give you this quick update. Tell me what you think about this. I think this is bullish, this is massive, and we need to brace ourselves for what's coming. Don't forget to hit the like button, comment, subscribe, do your own DD before you buy any stock, because the market is volatile. You can buy a stock today, it goes down 10% tomorrow, or you can buy the stock today, it goes up 10% tomorrow. It can be either or, but you need to make sure that you do your own due diligence so that you don't get to panic sell when you see sharp falls, or panic sell when you see maybe 10%, which could lead to you maybe seeing 100% or doubling your money in a space of like a year or two, which will end up regretting you why you sold the stock too early. So make sure that you do your own due diligence, as it helps with coming you and making you know what to do, if whether you should load the boat, trim your holdings. I mean, that's what due diligence helps with, right? Otherwise, that's all from me. God bless you all.